Okay, welcome to the podcast. So, this is a more of an interactive type of approach. I am the voice behind Mystics Perception, and we have a special guest, Praveen, who is going to be talking about his life story and sharing some spiritual experiences. And I just want to mention that on the path, on the spiritual path, we try not to share spiritual experiences because we tend to form an identity of it and it can become a hindrance for one walking on a spiritual path. So the purpose behind this is so that there's been a lot of people that go through a lot of spiritual experiences and a lot of things in their life, but they don't have someone to talk to about this, or they don't have a way of being able to express that because they have this urge to sort of release that kind of story from their life. So this platform is going to be an invitation. Even if you are watching this video, if you want to share your spiritual experience, feel free to join. You can maybe reach out by email, or you can just send a comment, and then we can actually have you on the podcast and you can share your experience. So, just a little bit of introduction. I've known Praveen for a few years now, and we've had a lot of very interesting type of experiences on the spiritual path. He's sort of taken a sort of a different approach. I've taken a different approach, but what's so very strange about it is we've had very similar experiences that was kind of mind blowing when we first met. So, it did have some releasing value in terms of that on the journey, and by sharing spiritual experiences, it does have some benefit that is there, and there are some traditions which actually do have this kind of a gathering of sangat, for instance, where you have a spiritual
Yes.
community that's there and they share their experiences. Okay, enough from my side, and we will allow Praveen to share his story, Praveen. So go ahead.
Well, namaskar, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. I think the video got stuck a little bit.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so, yeah, Shahid mentioned I have known him since a couple of years. Um, and to tell about my spiritual journey, so I would like to mention first how it all started. So basically, it all started in 2019. But so prior to that, how my life was, I would just like to give you a brief idea. So I have all my life, I have been an atheist. So I have never believed in God, mainly because there's no miracles or anything that happened around me. So that's one reason, and I never believed in God. And also, when I was young, during school days, I prayed to God during a very desperate situation where I was going through a lot of anxiety and stuff, and I felt like I didn't get any, I didn't get any immediate help. So that's when I stopped believing in God. And over time, with that, excuse me, that just bolstered, that it just got strengthened when none of my prayers got answered. I was like, okay, there is no such thing as God. Everything has to be done by us. So we are the only one here. So I started doing things by myself, and I never thought about God again. That person or that concept of God never came into my life. I mean, so I was like, it was getting more and more clear in my mind that there is no such thing as God. There is, there is. I was like, I became very rational person, and so I grew up like that, like for 28 years I was like that without with that understanding. I was like pure like a science student. I wouldn't believe anything unless if some experience happened to me. So I was like that. And so basically I was also like the rest of the society, how everyone is. So I did my schooling. The only thing is I was kind of like a rebel. I would say I didn't. want to follow the society norms completely. So I wanted to follow my own thing depending on what I believe is right. And everything that I was having realizations, they were against the society. So I was I was against my parents as well. Like everything, they were like. So I was kind of becoming like a rebel, like right from my young age. So probably that is the reason why I started exploring other things. I started looking outside of my country. Like I got attracted to the beauty when I explored like Europe during my school days. So that's when I first started realizing my interest and like love for exploration and everything. And yeah, during my school days, everything was fine. I was like, I didn't believe in God and everything. So like every Indian student, I mean every Indian kid. So my father was very strict with us. So he wanted us to study. So he was always like, you should get first rank, first rank. That's always what he taught in house. So that's all we knew. I mean, all my life, like at least when I was growing up, all I knew was about studying, and so like when you grow up, you get to know about girls and everything. But that's it, like studies, girls, and friends. And there was no much part of religion in my life. Like I know there is religion. I was born as a Christian. So in my house, they were very liberal. They never forced us to follow Christianity or any such thing. So it was very liberal at home, and but we used to go to church once in a while. But my world consisted only of this religion called Christianity. I never knew much about. I knew there was Hinduism, there is Muslim, but I never knew much deep about each of the gods in this religion, in each Hindu religion or Muslim religion, any such thing. I was mainly focused on Christianity because my surroundings, my relatives, everyone were in Christianity. So that's what my life was revolved around. But I didn't believe in God, so even I didn't believe in Jesus Christ mainly. So that's it. That's the end of it. So either there is Jesus Christ, which is like God, Jesus Christ, or there is no God. So, and because I prayed and I found out that there is no God, I stopped believing in God. So there is no Jesus Christ. That's how I became. And so this was, I mean, by myself, I had a little bit of struggles like everyone, but it was not like I never felt like I was abandoned or any such thing. Um, I don't know. Yeah, it was like somehow everything worked out. My father was, even though they were not rich, they had enough savings for me to for them to send me to US to study masters and everything, which I'm really grateful for. I mean, I had to cry a lot for them to send me because Indian parents, they're very scared of how their kids will be, when they're like very far from home. But eventually, I succeeded in sending me to US, and that's when I think everything's opened up a little bit. Like I got exposed to the American culture, the comforts, and it's like their lifestyle, everything. And my masters it was so entertaining. Like I had a lot of fun during my masters in the US. Like I knew that. I mean, during undergrad, it was more about studying. But after going to masters, it was like there's a lot of partying and everything. It's like a lot of networking. Like
Can you tell
my
us maybe
world
when
got
your spiritual, when that peak spiritual experience started, where things started to like really shift in your life? What
right?
speak about that first event that happened?
Oh, which sparked the spirituality in me. It's so my life was like after masters and everything. So I had to move to Canada.
Hmm.
And so at that time, I was in a relationship and everything. And I had a friend who was telling me to try LSD. And so until then,
Yeah.
so I had a bad impression about LSD. So I know that during undergrad, so I heard news about some guy who popped this LSD and he took his shirt off and he was roaming here and there. So that's what I heard. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fine, LSD is a bad thing. And that's the end of the story. But my friend has been insisting, it happened in 2018, at end of 2018 or something. My friend has been insisting me to take LSD, and I will. At the time, I was in relationship,
What
and
age were you
so
at that time?
age around 27.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
so my friend insisted on me taking it on 20 when I was in 27. I took it when I was in 28. So
Okay. You had
so
1 year of
28.
preparation.
Yeah. No, it was just like 27 and 28 June, May or something. I took it. So it was like at that time I was in relationship. So when my friend insisted, I couldn't take because my girlfriend would kill me if I like Indian girlfriends. They are like they're badass. So she would kill me if I told her that I want to take LSD. So after we broke up in 2019, and I came to Canada, and so like everything happened in such a way that it's all crazy. So I went to the psychedelic party in Toronto, and so then I remembered, oh, my friend wanted me to try LSD. So I asked around, and I couldn't find, but eventually found it, and I took it, and I went home, and I called my friend, and yeah. So I went back home, and so this happened in like 2019 May. Uh, so the event happened. Okay, yeah. So I went back home, and so I that was the first time I took it, right? And I had no idea what it would do. Like I just know that my friend asked me to take it, and I am going to take it. And I didn't even do any research on what it does or any such thing. I just popped it. I'm like little crazy, okay?
Hmm.
Like because of my nature of being a rebel and everything, I was like probably it led me to try it. Probably if I still had that impression in my mind of what I heard in undergrad, I wouldn't have taken it. It's
Okay.
because my friend told me, and I was like, oh, fine, whatever, what the hell. And yeah, that day, so like it was, I took like some kind of, I took weed, I took ecstasy, I took like little those kind of things, but I never experienced what I experienced that night or that
Describe like
day.
what were your actual like experiences
So
when you were in those states.
So my first experience, the first time I took it, like yeah, I was going to say what happened. So so initially my pupils got dilated and everything. That's an effect of it. And after that, so because I was on call with my friend and he got panicked for some reason. So after looking at him being panicked, I got panicked, and that kind of spiraled and it led to death kind of situation. Like I was so scared. It was like it went. I was like death kind of scared, and that kind of led to near death kind of experience. And
Mhm.
also the next moment I remember, I think that was when it hit the peak. But I remember my consciousness within my brain. It was like so crazy. It's like within my brain, and there's like some like energy nerve pulses or something. It was like my consciousness went inside my brain, and I remember experiencing some raw energy, some raw power kind of thing, and I immediately got this thought, in that peak, that if people can harness this energy, it could be useful for the people. If it could be useful for the society, humanity, and everything. So that was and so that's after that I started researching, like started looking into what was that experience, what I experienced, and I started looking and I found that so that something so like psychedelics like LSD, they give spiritual experiences which are called ego death. It also give experience called ego death. So that's the first time I heard about the term called ego death, and I was like, okay, what is this? And I was like doing research on it, and I found that even through meditation you can reach these states.
Hmm.
And so I started looking more into it, and so until then, like I said, I was an atheist, right? Like that started slowly turning me into a believer of some higher power. Like, yeah,
Your
so
whole world
I was
started to like shatter and open up,
no,
and
no,
your
no, no, no,
perspective
not
shift.
shatter and open up. No, 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 no. It was
Hmm.
like unity. I started from that moment, like I was experiencing compassion, bliss. Like it was such a beautiful feeling. Like
Hmm.
so, I never felt such kind of feeling, and that feeling like lasted for like couple of months. Like
Couple of
it was
months.
yeah, yeah, the
Oh
after
gosh.
effects. Like I was feeling not as compassionate, but like
Hmm.
that kind of like that impact was there. It was like wow. And so I have experimented with like LSD and magic mushrooms couple of times. In after that first time happened, while I was also exploring things, and it has been a very awesome. Like I'm an Aquarian. Okay, so I overthink. I am an analytical. My mind is analytical, very analytical. And so
Yeah.
right from my young days, I used to be very analytical. I used to analyze everything, like like random things and all the stuff. I used to imagine scenarios and be like which scenario is going to come true in the future, like some kind of random shit. Or like within myself I create two personalities, and one is like shy personality and one is and I would like do a lot of crazy things, like I analyze my mind, like try to explore what's going on in my mind. So
Hmm.
and so it felt like this that first LSD trip, it triggered something within me. Like until then I had no aim or ambition in my life. Like I was like, apart from being an atheist, I was like, okay, this is all there is to life. There is nothing much to life. It's just about living, eating, marrying someone, and then dying. I i thought that I was thinking,
Hmm.
is this all there is to life? And then this happened, this LSD, this first thing, this trip happened, and my mind, it triggered something within me. There have been many people who take it, but not everyone goes into, because people use it for different purpose. But I don't know why it did that. It's some kind of universe orchestration, because what happened from then is like again another fairy tale. Like LSD, the psychedelic experience, me I used to smoke weed like once in a while, like even in masters I smoked, but weed is like was considered normal. It was like nothing. I didn't experience anything. It was just considered like I used it for relaxing and everything. I didn't experience anything. But this LSD, it flipped. It changed my life 360 degrees. Like that experience, whatever I experienced then, it changed, transformed me. It put me on the spiritual path. Like I don't know why I was destined to go to psychedelics to get on
Hmm.
the spiritual path. Probably I have some past life,
So that
some
was
kind
your,
of
you can say, your doorway towards opening
yeah.
yourself to this other reality which you never knew existed, but it was always there.
Oh my God, the reality, it's like different world. Like all my life, like I said, I was only looking like 28 years. I have been living life looking at it in like in only one world.
Hmm.
Like everything happened, nothing went out of line. It was all like it revolved around women, partying, drinking, uh, working job, like parents, like normal stuff, like how the rest of the society is.
Hmm.
It just revolved around that. And this one trip, it's like it opened up a total different, Sadhguru. Okay, I'll tell about Sadhguru later when I come to him. But yeah, so basically, it opened up a totally different door for me. It's like
Hmm.
it blasted me into different universe, I would say, which I think without psychedelics, I would never come on the spiritual path. I would have never known that there is something higher power exists. Like I would have been like, I would have, just that was my
Live the
goal.
normal
Like
life.
before, no, yeah, that was my. I mean, I was happy. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was I imagine my life to be like I'm gonna party every weekend for the rest of my life. I imagine my life that is how it is going to be, and I loved it. I was living in the US, with like have dream life. That's the dream life of many people. So I was having a good life, and then this universe comes and it makes me jump, like go to the next notch, next level. Like, oh my god, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.